Definitely cash management. You have heard the saying, cash is king, and many businesses, even large corporations, sometimes are making very high profits, but they are struggling because of cash management. So having a system to track cash, having a budget against which you constantly check your cash balances against your forecasted, so that you can make adjustments to your cash flows on time. Another good strategy is to maintain a cash flow worksheet. It's simply a sheet where you record your cash balances, and you could also incorporate in there short-term projections of what cash you have coming in, what cash you have coming out around in the near future, so that you're better able to know if you are in a cash flow position or you're good. Another strict item that I would adhere to is proper accounts receivable management. Many businesses have failed because accounts receivable have killed them. You want to be nice, you want to give people credit, but you also have to make sure you have systems in place to manage it. One of the systems that I highly recommend is making sure you have signed agreements with every customer. In the event that they default, at least you have something signed that you can take to a collection agent, or at sometimes even court, depending on the amount. Another strategy is to make sure you do constant and timely follow-up. Send your bills on time, and make sure you have somebody designated that is constantly following up on payment when it's due from your customers. It's also important to establish proper payment protocols, and that includes how your customers pay you, by when they pay you, how follow-up is done, and certain things like that. It is very important also to let your customers know if there are late fees. Sometimes we call it finance charges for late payment. Legally in Belize, you can only charge up to 40% per annum. That's by law. So if you are levying finance charges by month, you just have to make sure that you are within that legal requirement. 3% per month. If the customer doesn't pay within the year, that's already 36%. So sometimes when we see these high 10%, 12% finance charges per month, it's not really proper. The third most important thing that I would adhere strictly to would be inventory controls. So if you look at a balance sheet, for example, and a lot of people don't pay attention to this, you will notice that the first items on a balance sheet is cash, and then it's usually followed by accounts receivable, and the third item is inventory. And there's a reason for that. These are your three most liquid items on your balance sheet for your business. So inventory is really cash tied in physical form. So if you don't have proper inventory controls, it's like you just having cash lying around, and it's a free-for-all. And there are other things that I would strictly adhere to. One of them would be compliance, and that entails compliance with your agreements that you make with your customers, agreements that you make with your suppliers. Definitely compliance with tax. Depending on your business, there are different government regulations that you have to comply with. Another one would be accurate financials. You want to keep accurate, timely financials, because that's the only way you will know how you're doing in your business, whether you're making a profit or not. A lot of people make the mistake sometimes of either not doing a budget any at all, or they do a budget and they see it as a one-time exercise and they forget about it. All your time and effort to putting together a budget, it is important that you follow it and you compare your actual performance versus what you had budgeted. That way you can make adjustments and drive your business in the right direction.